Welcome everybody to the first Boy Time music review. We talk about music on our podcast a lot, and I thought I would make a new series kind of doing music reviews on my own so I can get more cohesive thoughts out there on an album or a single if I'm going to do track reviews and that kind of thing. So I'll probably do a mixture of reviews and reactions depending on what I'm reviewing and how I'm feeling on an album. So let me know. Give me feedback. Let me know what you want to see, that kind of thing. Today we're going to go over the posthumous Mac Miller album, Circles. This one's going to be a little bit different because it's a posthumous release, obviously. So I'm not going to be judging it too hard or going into criticisms too much, obviously. We don't know how much work was put in before Mac left us and that kind of thing. So Mac's family came out with a statement earlier this year basically just saying he had a companion album in the process of being recorded called Circles. Jon Brion was heavily in it with production and that kind of thing. If you don't know, Jon Brion worked on Frank Ocean's Blonde and worked with Kanye on Late Registration. I'm going to start with Good News, the single that came out last week. Good News as a single is really good. A very calm and kind of reflective instrumental, light strings on it, and just Mac's delivery was so emotional and kind of calm, I guess. Really just an emotional track overall. I recommend everybody looks at the music video for that one. But this is a really perfect single. I couldn't think of anything better to release before you release an album like this. I think the family did a great job with that one. As opposed to First Listen, didn't want to do a reaction to that one because I'd rather just listen to this one. I kind of shut the lights off, put on a good pair of headphones, and just listened to it, took it all in, and that kind of thing. And it was definitely a weird experience. It was really kind of otherworldly. The instrumentals that were put on this were just so personal and kind of intimate, paired with Mac's voice on it. It was just really different to listen to, and really just kind of breathtaking and beautiful. It was hard for me to write anything about this album just because of how different this felt. It doesn't sound like anything else he's released, and is definitely a lot more mature. There's a lot of diversity in the track list, and his lyrics were just, a lot of them can be taken differently after he's passed, obviously. So a lot of them could be talking about a relationship or his addiction or whatever, but you can't help but think now that he's gone that these are written with death in mind. And he's done this a lot throughout his discography, writing about death and that kind of thing. Alright, so let's get into the track listing. It starts with Circles, the title track. The production on this one is really, really nice. I was immediately drawn in. It's a pretty stripped back instrumental for the most part, but it just draws you in. It's so calming and kind of comforting. And Mac's delivery on here is super kind of close up to the mic, kind of laid back like he usually does. It's like Come Back to Earth, just like mixed a lot better in my opinion. The lyrics hit hard throughout the whole thing, kind of saying that he cannot be changed no matter how hard he's tried. It's kind of everything he does just goes in a circle. It's just going to happen again. Kind of heartbreaking, but also soothing at the same time, which is a real big theme on this album. After that comes Complicated, which is a complete change up. Super bouncy beat. These synths are incredible on this. Jon Brion did a really good job with that, saying that his head's been pretty cluttered, which is referenced on Good News and Come Back to Earth. Just kind of this headspace he's been in, from being cluttered to trying to find a way out of it to doing spring cleaning like on Good News. And the line, some people say they want to live forever and that's way too long, I'll just get through today. Really just dealing with these themes of addiction and still off of Swimming. And then comes Blue World, which is a really nice flip of a 1950s sample. One of the few rap tracks on here. This isn't a rap album at all. It's hard to kind of pinpoint a genre or two on this because he's kind of all over the place. But it's good, really diverse. It doesn't keep you down too long. A lot of good lyrics in this thing again. And one thing throughout the album that is just incredible is just the production on this. I found myself getting lost in these instrumentals all across this thing. Woods, Good News, Surf, all of them have these very beautiful instrumental passages near the end of them. just kind of give you a moment to reflect, and the synths and everything are just so incredible. On Woods, there's this synth passage that comes through that sounds very similar to So It Goes off of Swimming, and I couldn't pinpoint it on my first listen, but after a few more and then listening to So It Goes, it kind of, you can definitely tell there's something there. And I just want to highlight Good News again as the single. Just the lyrics all across this thing are incredible. And kind of like this, there's a whole lot more for me waiting on the other side theme that comes in later on the track is just, can be interpreted so many different ways. And after Good News we get I Can See, which is again a mix-up in production. A lot of synths on this one again. And a lot of pinpoint lyrics like hitting the ground, I fell from the top, you never expect me to drop, kind of getting that visual of a circle again. This relates to Ladders off of Swimming as well, kind of the same kind of idea. Great choruses all across this thing, and Ariana Grande on the background vocals for this one really brought this one together. Makes it feel otherworldly again. And really just kind of a dreamy instrumental on this one. And Everybody was another change up on the track list, kind of coming in with this kind of piano-ish, singy songwriting intro. That's really powerful. You know, kind of everybody's got to live and everybody's going to die. Really, really emotional. This is where it started getting difficult to listen to on the first time. But very Beatle-ish. I can tell he took a lot of inspiration from the Beatles and that kind of thing on this album. His vocal delivery, he's not the best singer in the world, but he's just so incredibly passionate on this thing. And a lot of these lyrics are great. Like, his songwriting ability was really good across this thing. I wasn't crazy about Woods at first, but after one or two more listens, it definitely grew on me. I like his kind of rapping type delivery on the second verse. A lot of the lyrics on there stuck pretty hard. The synths on the end of the track really, really brought it together. Again, kind of sounding familiar to So It Goes, and kind of an ascending type of synth to kind of end it. You really just get lost in it. Kind of saying that he slips but he never falls, he's just going to keep going. Kind of that Swimming thing from the last album, obviously. And after that we get Hand Me Downs, which is probably my favorite track. I go back and forth, but just the guitar intro and that calm instrumental is just way too much. This is the only track that kind of features a chorus from someone else. Barrow handles this chorus. I'm not familiar with him at all, but he killed this chorus, kind of that Mac kind of bringing him in and then him kind of taking over and that kind of thing. But I just love how diverse and different this all feels, and it's all just very beautiful and well constructed. Nothing's hard to listen to, and it's very easy to kind of just fall and kind of let the music take you. And after that we got Mac's guitar ballad, That's On Me. Just another great chorus. Just so soft and kind of inviting, even though these lyrics are kind of saying that, you know, he knows the choices that he made and he knows the consequences of that, and that we didn't, it's not our fault, it's his fault, that kind of thing. You know, kind of lyrics like, I don't know where I've been lately, but I've been alright. I said good morning this morning and I'll say good night. Don't wait around on him, that kind of thing. In the bridge, I'll let it go, I'll cut the strings, today I'm fine. Just a lot of heavy lyrics, but after a few listens, it kind of goes from that heartbreaking feeling to kind of being okay with everything and just kind of moving on. And knowing that he's okay where he's at and we'll be okay where we're at. I wasn't crazy about Hands at first, but that instrumental definitely grew on me with kind of that Hey Yeah sample in the background. A lot of like small xylophone type sounds on it, and on a few other tracks as well. And the instrumental breakdown at the end was really what put this track on my mind more and got me listening to it a lot more. Surf is another beautiful track, the longest track on here. Again, more of these themes of, you know, these lines that can be interpreted in many different ways, like I ain't coming down, why would I need to, that kind of thing. The chorus on this is really, really good. The days go by until we get old, there's water in the flowers, let's grow. As I was looking into this more, I found that on Wings off of Swimming, he says the same kind of thing in verse 2, water my seeds till the flower just grow. And he even references the title of this track and that track. So there's a lot more connection to be made between these two. I haven't dug too deep into it yet because I'm still just taking in this one. This is all I've been listening to since it dropped Thursday night, and I'm recording this on a Monday. I haven't been able to listen to anything else. This is just incredible music. And the final track on here is Once a Day. This track just kind of talking about his chorus, once a day I rise, once a day I fall asleep with you, kind of talking about himself and kind of his inner voice kind of conflicting with him and having to live with that. So overall, I think this is a perfect last piece of Mac's discography. The way this was handled and kind of produced and cared for has been incredible. This is probably my favorite Mac album. Obviously, it's been a lot of different emotions, obviously, because he won't be putting out anything else. And just to see how the growth and maturity in a lot of these songs and just how far he's come. I liked a lot of his old work, but Swimming, and really when he kind of opened up and really showed where he wanted to go in an artistic direction. And I think this is kind of a culmination of all of that and just how beautiful of a songwriter he can be. This one's probably going to be in my rotation for a long time. I recommend everybody listen to this one. You don't even have to be a Mac fan or whatever. Just beautiful music, beautiful message. Heartbreaking, but also calming and kind of reassuring that he's okay. He's fine with it. I'm feeling a 9 out of 10 on this one. So let me know what I should do next. Hey, this is Editor Babby. I forgot to go over a few things. So I forgot to do favorite tracks. So favorite tracks for me are definitely Circles, Good News, I Can See, Hand-Me-Downs, Surf, and Once a Day. And obviously this review is different because this album was a lot more personal, so here on out it'll probably be a little bit more lighthearted. This is my first music review, and it was hard to do a review on something this serious, so I'll talk to you guys in the next one.